What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Winner Circle. If you are new here, you're going to want to like, subscribe, follow, do whatever you got to do to become part of the Winner Circle, because at the Winner Circle, we bossing our life up. We becoming the better version of ourselves. And yeah, you're going to love it here. So welcome home. But if you've been rocking with me for a while, thank you so much. I love each and every one of you. And let me know how your life has changed since you become part of the Winner Circle. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know something that has changed for you in the most positive way, something that you're more effective at, anything, even the smallest thing. Let me know in the comment section, and give other people hope to know that there is change is on the horizon, and we doing the damn thing. But today's video, y'all, I want to talk about breaking generational curses, because there's a lot of people who have been appointed to be the generational curse breaker in their family. And the reason why I really want to discuss this is because it's like the weight of the world is on that person's shoulder. 10 times out of 10, if you're a part of the Winner Circle, if you're subscribed to me, if you're following me, if you're a part of this Winner Circle, you probably are the generational curse breaker, because you're ready for change. You take accountability, you take initiative, you take responsibility for your wrongdoings. And it takes a spiritually, mentally mature person to want to progress in life in such a manner. So again, 10 times out of 10, if you're a part of the Winner Circle, you are exactly who I'm talking about. And if you are new here and you know this video resonates with you, please join the Winner Circle. Please join the Winner Circle. But the generational curse breaker, also could be known as a seer, or there's always one person that God will elect in a bloodline of family to break those generational curses. And generational curses can come from genetics, your bloodline, your belief system. And when I say belief system, I'm talking about any religious views, any type of money, your belief system about money, about love, about happiness. You know, there's people out there who are like, F love, love doesn't exist, and and because they're speaking that in their household, and if they have children, their children are hearing that, I don't need no man, I don't need no woman, whatever the case may be, you're planting seeds in those around you and in your environment, and children are soaking that up. And so the next generation, as they become raised around stuff like, money don't grow on trees, we don't got enough money for that, we broke, F love, you don't need no love, And I'm not saying you need anybody, you need you, but you do need other people for companionship. You do need other people to talk to. That's why God put us here, okay? Nobody deserves to just constantly be alone for the rest of their life. It's one thing if you're sharpening yourself. Anyways, I'll get into that. That's a whole nother topic or whatever. But saying stuff like, F men, you don't need no man, just talking bad about men. And then you're saying that in an environment with your daughters, and now your daughters are hearing this and they're growing up saying these things. People who are on drugs in your family line, they're in and out of your family, and then they're being exposed to the children, to the smaller generation, to the next generation, and then they think that that's normal for family members to grow up and always have a crackhead in the family. And I hate to say it like that, that sounds a little funny, but you guys know what I'm saying though. Children, they see abuse in the house, verbal abuse, physical and emotional abuse coming from men or women, and they grow up thinking that that's normal. And so these are literally the definition of generational curses that follow from generation to generation. And we wonder why is there so much hate? Why is there so much abuse? Why is this bloodline lacking so much self-love, so much awareness? There's just a lot of lack. These generational curses come from the mindset, the belief system, what you believe about yourself, what you believe you deserve, saying stuff like, money don't grow on trees, we ain't doing that, we ain't got no money. Speaking those things causes generational curses, and it affects your children. Doing things like yelling at your children before they go to bed. You're being accusatory to them. You're judging. You're being not judging them, but you're coming down as a judge on them, chastising them. before bed, and then it's on their consciousness. Or you're waking them up in the morning before school and you're constantly yelling, do this, do that, you didn't do your homework, you did. And I'm not to say not to have that order, but try not to yell, because these type of things, children are growing up in homes thinking that this type of behavior, this type of mannerisms, these type of activity, these type of patterns are okay. And it's what's causing the generations to be broken year after year after year, and to accept terrible treatment, to tolerate treatment that they don't need to be tolerating from other people, especially when they get around friends, and then their peer pressure, they're tolerating toxic friends, treating them poorly, they're tolerating toxic relationships and people treating them poorly, beating on them, disrespecting them. So be mindful of what you're speaking in your home, how you're talking to your children. Be mindful of what you're saying about yourself, the narrative that you're speaking about yourself, because that is going to be the first step on breaking generational curses. Okay. A lot of you guys are breaking these generational curses. You're speaking against secrets in the family, like molestation. You're speaking against, you're saying no to addiction. You're shedding light on some of the family lies that and you guys know what I'm talking about. If you know exactly what I'm talking about, you're finding out that your family got some lies, or it might be a family member taking advantage of grandma because she's well off, but she's old and naive and she's not able to care for her finances. So the person who is taking care of her finances is just milking her, and you see it and you speak against it. But before you spoke against it, nobody wanted to talk about it. People just want to sweep it under the rug because they're like, well, I'm not the one taking care of her, so just let him do him, even though they know he's taking advantage of her. You're the one changing the trajectory of your family. You're the one changing the dynamic of your family. If you're a generational curse breaker, you might find yourself less combative than most people in your family. You find that your people in your family are angry, are bitter, they're pessimistic. They always have a problem for every solution. They don't want solutions. They want to find something to nag about. They want to find something to complain about. They want there to be a problem. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Leave me a comment below if you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you have people in your family and they're always complaining, they're always nagging, they're always negative, there's never nothing really positive coming out of them. If you are the generational curse breaker, you find yourself to be set apart from what your family is doing. You find yourself changing how you parent. You find yourself changing how you carry yourself. You find yourself changing how you communicate with those ones who are always so negative. And if you're the generational curse breaker in your family, they're probably looking at you like, she thinks she all that. Who he think he is? He think he big time. He think he this. They're going to treat you like the black sheep, because you're not following suit and just being a sheep and rolling along with whatever they've been doing for years and years and years and years, generation after generation after generation. You're not dating toxic people. You're not the woman dating men who are only in prison. And that's not to disrespect anybody who is in prison. If you guys don't know, I was a correction officer. But when you have elevated to a certain level, you know your worth, and you know that somebody who is in there, they have their own things to get through. Anybody in prison should not be dating anyone at all. Unless you're married or something, and you got locked up and you was already married, that's a whole nother program. But if you're looking and you're dating while you're in prison, you're looking to date, and you're dating someone people who are in prison have their own focus, their own growth they need to go through, and people who are outside of prison have their own growth they need to go through as well. But they're especially in the Black community, and I mean this could go for anyone, not just the Black community, but because I do know women who do this outside of the Black community, but it tends to weigh so heavy in the Black community. A lot of women find themselves dating in the prison system, and when you get down to the root of it, all it is insecurities. They're and I hate to say it like this, but 10 times out of 10, women who are dating men in prison, they're finding men who are a little bit less than, so they can feel more about themselves. All it is an insecurity. They're dating men who are on a lower caliber, someone who might need them, who might have to lean on them, have to depend on them for something to raise their ego. It's stroking their ego. That's when people date in a lesser field than them. When you play in a lesser field than you know that you're in, it stems from an insecurity. And this is not to make anyone feel bad. This is to bring awareness. But when you know who you are, you're not doing those. And if you're a generational curse breaker, you are not dipping down to a lower standard, a lesser vibration, playing a feel less than you deserve. But people who are in our family who are carrying these generational curses from generation to generation, they're doing these things, maybe unconsciously, knowingly, unknowingly, but a lot of the times they know better, but they don't know how to change the dynamic. They don't know how to change the pattern. Maybe their mom was dating a man in prison, and then that young girl, she saw her mom going to the prison to visit men. So that became normal for that young girl. So then she grew up to do the same thing, going to date men in prison and going to see these men in prison. The whole time she's at home by herself, and she deserves someone to be there with her, to be there loving her and protecting her, instead of combating with her, asking her how come she didn't answer the phone and whatever. And for the men dating toxic women, there's a lot of men out there who do come from mothers who inflict trauma on them, and they have mommy issues. The first woman that they knew that was supposed to show them love and how to be loved, they're cussing them out. They're telling them it ain't gonna be shit. You just like your daddy. You're this. They're not speaking life into their sons. They're not speaking positively into their sons. They're or they're using their son as their, like their son is supposed to be their man. Do this, do that, and it causes conflict between their son and the woman who is actually in their son's life, not realizing that that's trauma. You're inflicting trauma onto your son by you having your son step in your husband, so to speak, role when he's not your husband, and it's causing conflict between your son and his actual wife, your son and his actual girlfriend, your son and his actual partner, because you're just carrying these generational curses, and we're inflicting it into our children, and they're carrying it too. And a lot of people don't even know how to identify these generational curses. But if you are the generational curse breaker, keep going. Keep speaking against family secrets. Keep spreading light on the liars in your family. And it's going to make people uncomfortable, but that's okay, because as long as you're a truth bringer, as long as you're standing on business, you bring in everything to light with love behind it, and not doing it to shit on nobody, to bash anyone, but you're just being honest, you're being truthful, you're making sound decisions, and it's coming from a heartfelt place. You're doing what you're supposed to do. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing changes if nobody comes in and make the change. So you have to make that change. And the generational curse breaker, you're fit for it. Okay? You have the strength. You have the thick skin. You have the boundary setting. You know how to say no. You have the self-love. You have the I check a motherfucker and respect a motherfucker in the same breath. You have that in you. That's why you were appointed. Don't ever think for a second that you don't have what it takes to change the trajectory of your bloodline. It was given to you. You are fully equipped to get the job done. Do not give up, okay? Because you are what your family has been waiting for. You are what your bloodline has been waiting for. Whether your family understands it or not, they're not going to say it, because it's a spiritual thing. It's not a physical thing. Your ancestors, your grandparents, their great-grandparents, and the grandparents before that, and all of your aunties, the people who have passed on, they are rooting for you. They know that you're the generational curse breaker. They see you setting boundaries. They see you saying no. They see you putting your foot down. They see you not falling for the willy foo-foo shit. They see that you're like, there's a better way to do this. They see that you have a loving heart. They see that you're choosing to raise your children differently. They see that you'd rather spread truth and not lies. They see that you'd rather do things different than what your family has been doing, because it's not yielding the desired results that you would like in your life. And only a spiritually mature person can pinpoint and have an eye to see this behavior that my family is doing is not yielding proper results. Is not yielding the desired lifestyle that I want. So you make that change. A lot of people understand that they look around, they're like, dang, I don't have any money. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. Dang, I'm in an abusive situation. Dang, I'm always attracting toxic situations. I'm always this, I'm always that. But they don't know how to change it. The generational curse breaker, you know how to change it. It's you. You, the person watching this video, you're the generational curse breaker, because this video is not finding you for no reason. You're not watching this video for no reason. You're not a part of the winner circle for no reason. You're not on the same vibration and in alignment with me for no reason. People who watch my videos, people who find my channel, people who find my shorts, it's because you're in alignment with growth. You're in alignment with elevation. You're in alignment with evolution. You're in alignment with transformation. You are the generational curse breaker of your family. And I just want to get on here and tell you to keep going. I know the assignment could be difficult. It could feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. It could feel like a huge responsibility. It could feel like your family is against you. You could feel alone. You could feel really isolated. You could feel like you're pissing everybody in your family off. But guess what? You're pissing them off. You're ruffling them feathers because you're shedding light. Your light is shining so bright. Your light sheds light on their lack of. Your light sheds light on their bullshit. Your light shines light on what they need to fix. Your light is shedding light on their wrongdoings. And nobody ever changes anything or gets someone to elevate by sugarcoating anything. So it's okay if you ruffling feathers. It's okay if you pissing people off. As long as you're coming from a genuine place of this is wrong, this needs to change, that's not okay, this is not the best way to do this, there's a more effective way to live. As long as you're coming from that place, you will always succeed. You will always be on top. Know who you are, wear your crown, and accept your position. You are the generational curse breaker, okay? You are what your family, your bloodline has been waiting for. And you have more than enough tools, more than enough knowledge, more than enough spiritual protection, more than enough intellect to get through it. And you want to make those changes because you don't want to carry on to your lineage. You don't want your children to live the way that your parents was living. You don't want your children to live the way that Uncle so-and-so who got addicted to stuff, you don't want them to live that way. You don't want your children to grow up seeing abuse in the home. You don't want your children to go up and seeing molestation or being exposed to people who are the perpetrators and who are molesting. So you speak on it. You shed light. And for you, all of you guys who have dealt with molestation in your family, know about it, or if you've been a victim of that, you are so strong. It is finally time to shed light. And you know that, let's just say Uncle Johnny. Uncle Johnny is the perpetrator. Uncle Johnny never stops until he get called the fuck out. Right? No matter how difficult it is, how hard it may be, Uncle Johnny won't stop until somebody calls him out. So your position, accepting your position, it is so powerful. It is so necessary. Break those generational curses in your family, you guys. Your family and the generations to come is depending on it, okay? I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all next time on the Winner Circle. If you ain't booked a session with me, book a session with me because you're missing out if you have not. I love y'all. Have a good day.